Hi there, it's Annie. I am still celebrating Children's Book Week, even though this video is coming out the week after. But I wanted to talk a little bit about revisions. This is the last stage in the process. Oh, I have food on my face. Until it's either published or until you show it to an agent or an editor. There's always going to be some stage of revision on your draft, on your book dummy. And then honestly, there probably will be more revisions to come. But the first stage of revisions usually comes after I have created my dummy book and I start working on, I start sharing it with people and I get feedback, and then I start reworking the story based on that feedback. So I'm going to show you my process and how I work through some revisions. I'm working on one right now for a new picture book, and there's a little bit of a method to the madness for me. Otherwise, I kind of go crazy. So what I like to do is print out my dummy book, and I go through the pages. I will do some sketches on the back. Let me show you where I have. Well, anyway, I'll just do like a thumbnail on the back with some different ideas if I'm changing a certain page. Maybe I have to change the entire story. Sometimes you want to print out the manuscript if it's longer and start with some revisions with that. But I like to do the visual aspect first. That to me is how I tell the story first and foremost. The text kind of follows afterwards. So after I've looked at my dummy and I've done a few sketches to kind of sort out my ideas, then I bring it over here into thumbnails again. Now, the first thing I did was I rewrote what I want to be shown on each thumbnail because I was changing the story around and I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to draw yet, but I needed to create what I call beats. So I wrote down a sentence or two of what is going to happen in each thumbnail. I mapped it out, and I actually have that almost all the way to the end of the story. Yeah, I have it all the way. And then I started working on sketches. So this is my first revision. It's probably going to not work, but after I kind of rework these sketches a little bit so that they're clear, I will print it out and I will share it with my husband or someone close to me, get a little bit of feedback, and then I will send it off to my critique group, which are some lovely storytelling friends that give me great feedback. Now, after I do this probably a couple more times, to be honest, then I will share it again with my agent. I find that it is so helpful to get as much feedback as possible. The first time I did a children's book with a publisher, I wasn't expecting probably about 10 to 15 different revisions. And I think the best thing to do actually is to expect a lot of revisions, to be willing to explore ideas, to be open, so that the process isn't devastating. And you can also keep in mind that revisions are actually where the writing gets tighter, where the characters come to life the most, and where the story really gets heightened where it needs to be heightened, and the pacing is kind of put in place so that it works really well. That all happens with revisions, not necessarily in the first draft. So this is a little bit about my revision process. I hope it's helpful. I hope it's kind of fun to see, and good luck on your books, and happy Children's Book Week.